Hey everybody, welcome back to Play the Game HQ. I'm Daniel, and in this video we're going to teach you how to play Wyrmspan from stonemaier games. In Wyrmspan, players will be excavating caves, enticing dragons to come live in those caves, and then exploring the dragon sanctuaries you've created. Throughout the game, you'll be playing cards with various abilities, but they all explain what they do on the card, and the back of the rulebook has a great reference for what all of the different icons in the game mean. To set up the game, put the dragon guild board, the round tracker board, and the card display board in the middle of the table. Pick a random dragon guild tile and put it in the middle of the guild board with your player count showing. Then put each player's guild marker on the starting space of the guild board. Next, put 4 random round objectives on the round tracker board, then shuffle the dragon and cave cards separately and stack them next to the card display board, and lay out 3 of each type of card face up onto the board. Put the supply of coins, eggs, and resources where everyone can reach them, then give each player their own player board, 6 coins, 1 egg, and 3 resources of their choice. Everyone takes 3 dragon cards and 3 cave cards from the face down deck and chooses 4 of those cards to keep. Put your egg in one of the 2 storage spaces on your playmat, and then put your explorer on the base camp space on your playmat. Put the rest of your coins, resources, and player cubes to the left of your player board, and you're ready to get started. Wyrmspan is played over 4 rounds. Each round you'll take turns spending coins and other resources to take actions until everyone passes when they either can't or don't want to take any more actions, usually when you run out of coins. Once everyone has passed, the round ends and the round objectives are scored. Then the next round begins. After 4 rounds, the game is scored and whoever has the most points wins. Pick a random start player and give them a starting player token, then going clockwise around the table, take turns doing one of the actions on your player mat. There's 5 actions you can take. You can excavate caves, you can entice dragons, and you can explore one of the 3 caves on your board. Everything that happens on your board, whether you're excavating, enticing, or exploring, happens from left to right. And anytime you take an action, put a coin on the space on your player mat to keep up with your turns. You'll start each round with 6 coins, but there's some cards and bonuses that can give you more coins, which means that some players may get to take more turns than other players. During the game, you'll be playing cards with different types of abilities. There's 4 types of abilities that your card may have. When played, which is activated when the card is played. When explored, which activates when you take the explore action. Once per round, which activates between rounds. And in-game scoring. To excavate, play a cave card from your hand into one of the leftmost open spaces on one of the 3 caves on your board. The first space of each cave is already excavated, so you can't place a card there. When you place a cave card, pay 1 coin plus the egg cost shown at the top of the column you're playing it into, either 0, 1, or 2 eggs. When you play a cave, you have the option to take the win played ability on the card, which in this case is to gain 1 meat and to lay an egg. So I'd gain 1 meat into my supply, and then I would gain 1 egg. Now I have to store this egg somewhere, and I don't have any dragons yet, so it's gonna go on my egg storage on my player mat. If you're playing a cave into the 4th column, you can take the win covered ability, which is 1 time to trade in 3 resources or cards, or any combination of 3 to get a coin. The colors on the cave have nothing to do with their placement. Any cave can go in any spot on your player board. Once you have a cave excavated, you can entice a dragon to come live in it. To entice a dragon, pay a coin and then pay the cost on the top left side of the dragon card. Then play the dragon into the leftmost open excavated space in one of your 3 caves, and if it has a win played ability, you can activate it now. The left side of the card shows the cave that the dragon can be played into, so for this dragon I have to play it in the Golden Grotto. This dragon could be played into either the Crimson Cavern or the Amethyst Abyss. Each dragon card shows different information about the dragon that you'll want to pay attention to. In addition to the cost and the cave limitations we've already talked about, the right side of the card shows the dragon's in-game points, the dragon's size, how many eggs it can hold, and the dragon's personality. All of these things may come into play at some point for scoring. For instance, our round 2 scoring is for aggressive dragons and our round 4 scoring is for shy dragons. So be sure when you play a dragon card to pay attention to their different characteristics and how those different elements may affect your score. And the last action you can take is to explore one of your caves. The cost to explore is listed to the left side of each cave and it resets each round. The first time you explore a cave in a round, it costs 1 coin. The second time is a coin and 1 egg. And the third time is a coin and 2 eggs. And you can't explore the same cave more than 3 times in a single round. When you take the explore action, choose which of your 3 caves you want to explore and pay the cost. Put the coin and the eggs that you pay in this space to keep up with how many times you've explored this round. And anytime you pay an egg cost, it has to come from one of your dragons or from the egg storage on your board. When you explore, you're going to start at the beginning of each cave, moving from left to right through the cave until you get to a stop sign or to the end of the board. Anytime you land on a win explored action, you have the option to take that action. So exploring the Golden Grotto, I would pay 1 coin, and then I place my explorer on the starting spot, which lets me gain 1 dragon card that I take into my hand. Then I move to the right, onto this card. It says reveal a dragon card from the deck. If it is medium, tuck it here. Otherwise, discard it and gain a meat. So I reveal a dragon card. It is a medium. so it gets tucked behind this card. Next, I activate the guild, which lets me move my marker one space forward and take the reward, which in this case is an egg. This card doesn't have an explore action, so I skip over that. Finally, I take one more dragon card, and then the next space shows a stop sign. When you're finished exploring, return your explorer to the home base spot on your player board. At the end of your turn, discard down to 9 coins, 9 total cards, and 9 total resources, and then it's the next player's turn. If you ever activate a guild symbol, move your marker one space around the guild track and take the reward shown. If you ever land on one of the brown spaces, pick a reward from the central board and place one of your cubes on an open spot next to it, and then take that reward. The spaces around the outside of the guild board don't have any player limits, but if the central rewards don't have an open square next to them, they can't be claimed. Whenever an action lets you take a card, you can choose one of the face-up cards or draw a card from the top of the deck. If you take a face-up card, don't replace it until the end of your turn. When you gain eggs, they have to go on a nest, either on a dragon card or one of the 2 spaces on your player board. If you don't have any available nests, you can't take any more eggs. If an action ever tells you to cache something, that means to store it on top of a card. Cached resources can't be spent, but they do score points at the end of the game. And if an action says to tuck a card, that means to put it behind one of the cards on your board, like we did with the Gnawing Seraph. And just like cached items, tuck cards score points at the end of the game. And some actions give you an option. For instance, this card tells you to gain a gold and you may cache it on this card. If I choose not to cache it, then it just goes into my personal supply. Once every player is passed, it's time to reset for the next round. First players will discard any eggs and coins that they paid as cost on their player mat, but don't discard the eggs stored on your dragon cards or your player mat storage spaces. Next, follow the instructions on the round tracker board for the end of round upkeep and scoring. First, you're going to activate all of your once per round dragon abilities. So in this case, this dragon says if you have at least 3 dragons on this cave, lay 1 egg on each dragon in this cave. I don't have 3 dragons, so I don't get to activate that ability. Then score the round's objective using a cube for each player to show where they ranked for that round. Ties are friendly, meaning if 2 players tie for a position, they both get the full reward. If you don't have any of the items specified for the objective, for instance, if green doesn't have any dragons with a win played or once per round ability, they would put their marker on the all others 0 victory point space. Next, we're going to refresh the market by discarding and replacing all of the dragon and cave cards. Then give each player 6 coins and 1 egg, pass the first player marker 1 player clockwise, move the round tracker 1 space to the right, and you're ready to start the next round. After the 4th round, score the end of the round objective and then move on to end-game scoring. First, score any markers on the central card of the Dragon Guild card that show in-game points. So I'm going to score 1 point for every 2 eggs that I have on my board, rounded down. So I have 11 eggs on my player board, which will give me 5 points. Then score the point value shown on every visible dragon on your player board. Tucked dragons don't count. Score any in-game abilities on visible dragons on your player mat. For instance, the Chameleon Codal gives me 2 points for each medium dragon on my player mat with a maximum of 8 points. And then get 1 point for each egg, each cached resource, and each tucked card on your board. There's some abilities that change how certain things score, so be sure to read all of your card abilities closely. Next, score for your position on each round of the round tracker, and remember that ties are friendly. And finally, get 1 point for each coin you have remaining and 1 point for every 4 of any other items or combinations of items you have. The player with the highest score wins, and if there's a tie, the player with the most visible dragons wins, and if there's still a tie, then you'll just have to share the victory. And that's Wyrmspan. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment, and I'll answer as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.